Hey everybody, and welcome back to Return to Lordran. I'm Fox with Foxeo Plays / FoxeoGames. If you're watching this on VidMe, you're seeing it on my main FoxeoGames channel. If you're watching it on YouTube, you're seeing it on my secondary Let's Play channel, Foxeo Plays. We just tackled Artorias of the Abyss. It took us a few tries, but we got him. And now we're on to the DLC itself. The DLC proper, the full DLC. Not that the previous part we were on wasn't DLC. It was. I think if we grab that, we get the attention of... Yes, we do. Okay. These guys are capable of jumping at you and doing quite a lot of damage. And I think if they're in the middle of their jump attack, you can't necessarily stagger them out of it. I don't know if they're immune to the stagger, but when they're in the middle of the big jump attack, it seems like they continue it regardless of whether you hit them hard or not. Yeah, if memory serves me, but I may be wrong. There we go. That multi-hit attack certainly would have eaten through a weaker shield, or someone with less stamina. That, of course, is the shortcut that we'll hit up later on. One of the things we've been talking about a little bit in this playthrough are some of the bigger issues facing American society today. Not necessarily gaming related. Doesn't always have to be gaming related, but one thing you'll notice is that at first all these sort of social justice, mostly leftist concepts that came into video games had previously started well outside the video game realm. I mean, it at first didn't seem like they would have anything to do with video games, and at first they didn't. I mean, none of it had anything to do with video games. No one was bothering video games. No one was really talking much about video games. I mean, the last time there was a major attack on gaming from the general media or the press or general public, it was all about violence in video games. And obviously, we won that battle. And I say we, I mean the gaming community in general, also known as gamers, not the new players that... the social justice crowd wants us to use the term players to stop using the word gamers. You'll also notice one interesting thing about the social justice crowd. They love to come up with euphemisms. They love to make new words or use different words for the same concept that existed previously. Like, for some reason, you have to stop using certain words and use new words. And then when those new words become offensive or inappropriate or whatever, then you have to come up with another new word. So, you know, there was a time in history when people said colored people, but that's inappropriate now. But now you say person of color, POC for short. So that seems irrelevant to me whether you use one or the other. They both mean the exact same thing. You're just changing the order of them and adding the word of. But, you know, to these social justice types, changing the words that you say to words that mean virtually identical things somehow changes everything. So you go from offensive to not offensive, from colored people to people of color. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that ridiculousness has wiggled its way into gaming, unfortunately. And as it's actually, you know what? We're not going to fight what's his name because we're not in, you know, have I ever noticed that thing there? Uh-oh. Gosh darn it. I forgot. I have the frame rate modifier on. You have to be very careful with your jumps and rolls with the frame rate modifier. Alright, today's drink of choice is black coffee hot. And you know what? Let's go human for the chance for the NPC invasion, as well as a chance for a player to invade us, if there is a player around at this time. You'll notice in the upper left corner that I'm no longer using NVIDIA's Shadow Play to show the frame rate. Instead, I've switched back to an old program that I used to use all the time, that I don't use as much anymore, but maybe now I will. That got overly confusing, the way I said that, but it's called MSI Afterburner. You don't actually have to have MSI hardware to use it. It's a great program for monitoring your graphics card and also monitoring every element like CPU, RAM usage, CPU core, individual core usage, GPU usage, multiple GPUs, fan speeds, temperatures, all that stuff. We're talking about PC, of course. None of this will be relevant to the consoles. Consoles. Psh, who needs them? Wait. As I look around and see my PS3, my PS4, my PlayStation 2, my Japanese PlayStation 2. I got an old Super Nintendo. I have a PS Vita, a 3DS, another 3DS, a DS, another DS, a DSi. Oh wait, I sold one of the DSs. Never mind. I don't have 3 of them. And then I've got Nintendo Wii, a Nintendo Wii U, an Xbox 360, but no Xbox One, because as of right now, there's pretty much nothing on Xbox One that I can't get on either the PlayStation 4 or PC. I don't buy consoles just to have them. I buy consoles to play console exclusives. And there are no compelling console exclusives on Xbox One, like I said, that I can't get either on the PC, which means it's not an exclusive, or that guy fell to his death, or on the PS4. So, like for example, Final Fantasy 15, I would not have bought a console for it, but I could play it on the PS4, though it is coming to PC, they say. And Neo is now coming to PC. I did not see that coming. I did not think that it would, but yeah, it is. I still say Bloodborne will never come to PC, but I would love it if it did. I think that's wishful thinking. And the reason I think it's very wishful thinking is because, unlike Dark Souls, Bloodborne was a console exclusive in every sense, in that they worked directly with Sony. Now, does that necessarily mean they have absolute permanent console exclusivity? I'm not privy to that information. I don't know that anyone outside of Sony or the people involved do have that information directly. Either way, that thing moves so fast that it can hit you if you don't roll at just the right time. You know, these guys are not dropping large Titanite shards. They usually drop them like crazy. I haven't gotten one yet. That's crazy. This area loads you up usually with large Titanite shards. Okay, so that's where we died. Okay, let's get off this ledge here, because I certainly don't want to fight him on a ledge. His roundhouse kick is a major problem because of how fast it is and how you can't stagger him out of it most of the time. And then his crossbow does a good amount of damage. And he has a ton of health. Yeah, see, like right there? I hit him twice. Neither one of those hits knocked him out of his attack. Oh, wow, that was... Oh, you know what? I was hitting him during, I think, what are called as instability frames. I think it would be awesome if, after he died, you actually got his crossbow. Or he dropped a unique weapon that used bolts, where you threw those, like, 3 little things that he tosses out. Maybe a glove weapon where you toss those 3 things. They're like 3 little darts. Wow, I expected to kill him before he got all the way up. Okay, this should give us the, what, figurine? Statuette figurine? Carving. I was off on both accounts. I was like, I'll just guess everything that's even close to the figurine statuette. So, I've talked more about the social justice, political angle of things, because it, like I said, it has wormed its way into gaming, for better or for worse, and in most cases it is definitely for worse, unfortunately, because there's really no benefit of bringing that SJW nonsense, all that leftist nonsense, into gaming. And in the same way, actually, some coffee, I would not want any political angle, you know, forcibly injected into a game. And it's hard to explain exactly what I mean by that, because a lot of people say, well, you know, games have always included some elements that could be political. Yeah, they have. Like, I remember Xenogears, one of my favorite JRPGs, had political messages in it, but, you know, and even some of them could be slightly heavy-handed. However, there were some key differences. I think one of the biggest things is that they weren't necessarily directly relevant to what was going on in society at the time. They did address issues that could be relevant, but they weren't direct responses to. Like, for example, I mean, games back then, you wouldn't have a game that specifically was referring to Donald Trump or something like that. Whereas, lately, the social justice crowd seems bent on trying to force current, hot-button, controversial political topics, modern, current political topics, obviously modern, current, same thing, into video games. And that's where you cross the line from this game deals with mature topics, politics, things like that, to this game is eye-rollingly, stupidly bad because it's trying to, you know, push this angle, this agenda. And I think there is a difference between having a message and pushing an agenda. It's hard to describe. It is a bit, it at some points could sound like splitting hairs, but I think there is a difference. And I think it would take a long time to clearly explain the difference. This is a place where it's easy to die. You'll notice the camera pulls out a little more. This is something that not everyone notices, and it took me a while to figure out. But surprisingly, the camera in Dark Souls, even when it doesn't collide with anything, can act differently in certain areas. Like when you enter into certain areas, the camera will just naturally pull out more versus what it normally does. And I don't know what exactly causes that to happen. There is a way to jump off this. There we go. Okay. We're safe right here behind this pillar for the moment. From anyone shooting us. That was my goal, to knock those two out so they don't come up from behind me. And then it would be good at this point if we had a ranged attack. It's also good to note that the ranged attacker back there that shoots stuff appears to have fallen down because I don't see it up there. So it appears that that creature has fallen off that ledge. Yeah, okay, so there it is. That's good. So now we don't have to worry about trying to shoot it up there or hit it up there without having a ranged attack. Wow, no shards so far. Interesting. I think I'm going to get the attention of those guys if I walk all... Oh, shoot. Because that is a type of magic, it is going to go through my shield. I don't want to be poisoned or whatever that is. I forget. I think it's poison. I would like to pull her back, but because she's a ranged caster attacker, I don't think she'll come back very far. In fact, she's actually walked away from me as I've gotten closer. There we go. We'll get the attention of these other guys and then use this pillar here to block the ranged attacks. All part of the strategy. Done. Okay. Now this area is significantly less dangerous. I always thought when I went down to get this, something would like drop down from above and knock me off the ledge, but it didn't. I was kind of disappointed. I was expecting that. To a great degree, I was expecting it. And it never happened. Obviously. Alright, that guy's down, and... Oh, come on. Done. It's like they turned off the shard drop suddenly. Nothing's dropping any shards. It's okay. The only thing we need large Titanite shards for is, I believe, my armor. I think everything else... Well, actually, I might need some large Titanite shards for my shield. Yes, I do. I do not like how the first time you pick up an item type, it places it on your quick slot bar, because I don't want that. I want to arrange that the way I want it. I don't want it auto-putting things on there, auto-arranging, anything like that. Notice that we don't have a source of light, so we can't get that item, but we don't need it, so that's okay. Now, let's turn off the frame rate modifier. So we're down to the lame-o 30 FPS. Go across, and then turn it back on. What the heck? He really likes that jump back. I noticed that the jump back is something they started including and a lot of enemies. After Dark Souls, like starting from Dark Souls 2 and beyond, especially Bloodborne, they really made use of the jump back, where enemies just jump back or dash back or do something to get slightly out of your range. And it's okay. I do find it annoying sometimes, enemies that will do it repeatedly. They had enemy AI where some of the enemies would just jump back, jump back, jump back, jump back as you approach. And you would basically have to let the enemy do what it wants to do after the normal jump back. Here we go. I think this gets us a Twin Humanity, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Twin Humanities. A single item, but twins. Oh, and mandatory damage right there. Well, mandatory if you went off that ledge there, I suppose. We're going to go back up this way. I don't remember everything about this area, believe it or not. So, although I've been through it many times, I'm actually doing a bit of slightly new exploration here to me. Not 100% sure that I've gotten everything up there, whether I need to come back this way. Turned off the frame rate modifier, do the roly-roly, turn the frame rate modifier back on. You know, some people occasionally ask me, well, why don't you just leave the frame rate modifier off if it causes issues? Well, it rarely does. It's only on a few rare occasions, a few times throughout the entire game. And when it does, it's easy to predict, especially once you get used to it. So it's much easier to just leave it on and then turn it off a few times rather than have to play the entire game at a very low 30 FPS. Where am I going and what am I doing? Wait a minute. I just went all the way around. Oh, I see. I see how it works now. I see how it connects. It all makes sense in the end. Alright, let's push forward. Yeah, so, you know, fighting the social justice angle, the, you know, kind of lunacy of the left has become an important part of gaming in a sense, because they have infiltrated and really just muddied the waters of gaming with their nonsense. So to just sit back and say nothing and pretend nothing is to ignore the very real negative effect they've had on games, where we've actually seen, you know, developers talking about all these issues. And you know, they love to get people fired. They love that. They love to say, they love to try to find some innocuous, mostly innocent thing somebody said at one point and try to claim that it was some horrible statement that they should be terminated for. Something about an enemy here. What is it? Oh, he's right up here. No, oh no, that's a different part. Okay. Let's go back up here and refresh our Estus. We've got 6 now. This is an area that can really eat through your health. They did up the difficulty level, and then let's also do some leveling up. We'll get a little health there. Oh, and that's the only thing we could do. Okay. But we're way too close to the next level. Let's pop a soul. Pop a soul. Will that let us level twice? I don't think it will, actually. Yes. Okay, cool. We'll put 1 into that. Oh, yeah, definitely. We want 3 points of damage right there. 3 points of damage is very good. It's excellent. We'll have to kill a few enemies to get to the shortcut, but that's okay. You can actually run this if you want to, if you don't want to bother fighting the enemies. And in fact, that's what we're going to do. As long as the elevator's up, you'll have no problem getting to it. If the elevator's down, then you'll have to dance around the opening with those enemies trying to get you. The random screams in the background don't make sense to me. They sound like a kid screaming, possibly a girl, but I'm not sure what that would mean in the context of the game's lore. I've never seen anyone really mention what that specifically that would be. I don't know if it has specifically anything it would mean, or if there's a particular character that might be doing the screaming. I doubt it. I figured someone would have mentioned it by now with all the lore talk that's out there. Yeah, see, I hit him during the jump, and oh shoot. Wow, I can't believe I didn't die. I can't believe it's not butter. Alright. Wow, look at that health. Alright. That sorceress can shoot you from a ways away, and am I gonna have two of them coming after me? I don't know. Let's just... ah, crap. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. Let's get behind this. You can see that magic does oodles and oodles of damage. The word oodles, that's a professional word with a very specific meaning. Mathematical meaning. Oh, and they aim the attack at the very last split second. So they're more likely to get you. But that's also something that they started doing in Dark Souls 2 and beyond. Having enemies wait until the last possible split second, it seems. Not literally the last absolute split second, but they get the millisecond timing very, 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 very close. So that you have to be a lot more accurate. Which is okay in many ways. I mean, I guess, you know, it makes sense, but not something that ultimately panned out in the end, in my opinion. Didn't make the game more fun, necessarily. Did make it a little more frustrating. Okay, I don't really feel like he hit me, but... oh, shoot, 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 shoot! I forgot how tough this guy was if you don't have a big, heavy weapon. Because you do very little damage and you bounce off. Uh-oh. I don't actually need to fight this guy, but I would like to get rid of him. Since he is a one-time spawn. And there we go. Got him during an instability frame. Oh, the chain set. The whole set. I believe that's the whole set. I don't think there is an actual 100% set of chain armor. I think there's one piece missing. Coffee is no longer hot, but it is still black. This is where we meet our little friend. He's coming down with us. Oh, and he's gone. And he's gone. Look at that. Into the abyss he goes. Now, I haven't ever really truly learned Manus's moveset. I kind of just tank my way through with lots of Estus. Sometimes I wait until I get... gosh, what is the thing from Pinwheel where you can buff your Estus past 10? I forget what it's even called. But I oftentimes wait for that, and I just like get 20 Estus flasks, and then I just sort of drink my way through the fight and hope I don't get caught in one of his combos. So what I might end up doing is if I have too much trouble here and can't do it by myself, I'm not going to just keep throwing myself at a wall. I will eventually decide to give up for the moment, and then probably have an event, make it a bit of an event where I announce on Twitter and Gab and whatnot for people to put down their summon signs and join me for the fight. So I'll get some summons arranged ahead of time to know for sure that they'll be there. Well, hopefully for sure that they'll be there. Might have to use that one mod that makes it easier to connect to people. Now I know there's an easy, more direct route here. I don't 100% remember what it is, but I am going to, as best as I can remember, take the Sif route, because I would like to be able to summon Sif versus not having anything. It's dangerous to move forward while attacking these guys, even though you do push them a bit. If you move forward, you might move forward into them, and that's what does the damage. It is interesting to note, however, that this is one of those games where simply touching most enemies doesn't cause any damage. A lot of games have gone that direction. It used to be back in the day, like with a lot of Nintendo titles, platformers, things of that sort. that you were damaged by simply touching an enemy. If an enemy came in contact with you, you would take damage, the enemy wouldn't. It would be a kind of a one-way thing. You take damage, the enemy takes none. Very few games would have a situation where the enemy would take some damage along with you, but generally it was the enemy touches you, you take damage, and you have to do something specific to the enemy to damage them. Like, think of Mario, you gotta jump on top of them. Or, you know, hit them with a turtle shell or something like that. But if Mario walked into an enemy, he would automatically take damage, regardless of what the enemy was doing. Alright, we now have Sif available to us. Oh, I forgot the shield. Certain areas of this place right here, like right here, tank the frame rate. Watch my frames per second up there. See right here, 71. Watch my frames per second. 48. 47, 43, 41, 30. We went down to 30 by just turning around to look this direction. There's certainly nothing on screen that would seem to indicate this would be a particularly difficult area to process for the GPU and CPU, but it happens nonetheless. They're well aware of the situation. They're not going to fix it, obviously, especially not by this long out. And there is no fix, as far as I'm aware. I don't think there will ever even possibly be a fix. It's just the way it is. Even though those guys float, they actually cannot fly. They're not truly levitating, because if they were, they would obviously not die if you knocked them off the edge. This is a very, very fast elevator, by the way. If you ever wondered where this goes, some people never even use it. Right here, Artorias. Not sure what the intent was. I don't know why they put it there. I don't know if they had the intent to create some other scenario, but it seems a mostly useless shortcut in my opinion. But whatever. Okay, we gotta find our way through here. I'm sort of relearning how to get places. And I know there's some sort of chunk, like a white chunk, a blue chunk, something like that around here somewhere, but we don't need it, so I'm not going to worry about it. We're not even going to use it. Even if we got it, we would have no use for it. Oh, yeah, I know I was going to go right into him. There, too. Here, it's actually really useful to have, like, a spear or a halberd. But certainly not worth upgrading one just for this area. I wonder if we can just skip all that. No, can't go down there. Well, we could. I don't recommend it. Yeah, we're now at 5 Estus Flask. I forgot to kindle the bonfire back there. Oh, yep. I got touched by both of them when I didn't intend to get touched by either of them. Speaking of being touched when you didn't want to, how is Hollywood doing these days? By the way, if you're watching this well into the future, this is during the timing of the Weinstein, not sure how to pronounce his name, drama, where they found out that a bunch of people in Hollywood have been acting inappropriately, specifically towards women, and of course we already knew that, but now we just kind of have more evidence for that. We have a lot of people coming out accusing some Hollywood bigwigs of some very inappropriate behavior towards them. Even some men are accusing other men in Hollywood of that as well. So we always knew Hollywood was a cesspool of that kind of garbage, along with all sorts of other garbage. Whoops, did not mean to hit that button. I really should go back to the bonfire. There's no point in pushing all the way down after that. With 3 Estus Flasks, try to do this whole thing. Oh, crap. Oh, gosh darn it. I would have gladly rolled out of the way, except I was trying to get my bearings onto where the cliff edge was. I didn't want to roll off the edge and die. Okay, well then, yeah. So, about that. Let's use one of these. And then reverse hollowing. And then Kindle. Not an Amazon Kindle, that's a different kind of Kindle. Alright. So, we're not seeing any summons as I would expect. This is the PC version after all. You know what? Is there another bonfire closer? There's not, is there? No, this is the closest one, I'm pretty sure. Why am I thinking there's a closer one? Let's drop our own sign, just in case. Let's be leaders. Let's lead the way, not just be a follower. Oh, I know why this feels wrong, because I'm going the wrong direction. Aren't I? Yeah, okay. That's why that felt wrong. I was going the wrong way. Surprised it didn't knock out my summon sign there. Alright. You can fairly quickly get to Maneth's Fog Wall, if you remember how. I'm trying to remember now, and that rhymes. Yeah. Dead. Kill him dead in one shot. Dark Souls pest control. Alright. Let's see. Go, 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 go. Don't get hit like I just did. Okay, that's actually a great thing. Just, shoot. Usually I don't get hit by that enemy. Oh, I knew that was coming. That's why I started saying, oh. Not sure why I took so many hits from him that time. I don't remember usually having that much trouble with that enemy. Okay, well, we're not going to go human now. Not yet, at least. And it looks like we will be doing the event where we organize some summons ahead of time. That time it didn't kill him in one shot, huh? Interesting. We don't have that special amulet to use on Manus, so yeah. We should be okay, I guess. We'll just deal with it. Like I said, I mainly go the tank route, just kind of tank my way through. Gosh, what is wrong with me? Oh my gosh, I don't remember ever having this much trouble. Dead. I can't figure out why I'm having so much trouble with this all of a sudden. I'm trying to recall doing this, and I don't remember this being difficult at all. Like getting to the boss fog wall. I don't remember it being a difficult procedure. Wow. I have no recollection of having this much trouble getting past that enemy. But I specifically recall taking this route. It's interesting. If I've died twice in a row, then that means that the enemy is doing some amount of damage there. Okay, let's see if this does it. Okay, another miss. Maybe I just got really unlucky twice. Maybe that was it. Maybe I just got really unlucky twice in a row. Just didn't know what I was doing. Whoop. Whoop. Oh, that's it. Okay. The jump right there. I believe I can summon Sif even if I am not in human form. It's one of the few summons that appears even if you're not human form. Oh, shoot. Hit me but didn't knock me down. Interesting. Looking for the Sif summon sign. I might need to be in human form. Looks like, yeah, I probably do need to be in human form, don't I? Okay. Looks like. Oh well. Where'd he go? Well, there he is. Yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. This makes it a marathon. Oh shoot. I missed the initial cue. Dead. Or not. I have very little drive to give this my all because I don't anticipate making it through this. Oh, I got hit. Wait, there's not a ledge, no. I don't think so. Looks like R2s are my best bet, but they're a little harder to get off since they take longer. I'm hit. Yeah, your character always takes forever to Estus in this game. Oh, come on. That looked like it went right through him. Yeah, there's like no way to get out of that once you get hit once. You get hit once, you get hit for the duration of the entire combo. Oh. Oh. Made it. I wish I could two-handed R2 for this, but it's a little risky to put down my shield when I don't know his attack patterns well enough to dodge them all. Yeah, see, like right there, dodged way too early and took a... That was a very hard hit, too. That was a really hard hit. Alrighty. Well, this might be one of the shorter episodes because I think what we'll do is go human. And then... Or actually, should I combine it with... Hang on. Well, I'll do one of two things. Either I'll splice the battle with him with somebody in cooperative mode, in co-op, to the end of this one, or it'll be the beginning of the next episode. Depends on if I'm able to find someone. So we'll do it one way or the other. You guys will find out in a second here. You'll know better than I do, faster than I do. Alright, let's reverse the hollowing. And at this point, I will either see you for the rest of this episode, or this will be the end of the episode, and I'll see you in part 8, where we tackle Manus. Or rather, part 9. This is part 8. So whichever way it works, you will know. Alright, so here we go. Or here we end the episode. Either or.